I'm just delighted to check in with the community. The last time I did one of these testimonials was about a year and a half ago. So
Well,
thank you for remembering me. I love that.
well, it's
Appreciate it.
exciting that you will be able to tell us another year and a half worth of results and experiences that you've had. But before
Right.
we get into that, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I did not start the patches as a healthy person. I had a storied career actually in entertainment, public relations, and marketing. And I started the patches at the beginning of the pandemic, and I promptly got a concussion. So when I got a call from Beth Greer, what do you know about stem cells? I actually did know a lot about stem cells. I can explain why later, but getting involved in anything was about the last thing I had on my mind. But this community it's a place to heal and help others too. And so my life is very different. I mean, basically, I would say that I have had three pivotal times in my health journey, and Beth Greer really knew about them all, which is why she called me. One time, 15 years ago, so that was at the age of 55, so it means I did hit 70 this year, Sheila, okay? So 15 years ago at the age of 55, and it was the year of my son's high school graduation, I just tried to get out of bed the way I would any morning, and I fell right down on the floor. I had no strength on the right side of my body. I had something was just really wrong. I couldn't feel my feet or my right leg. My right hand was shaped like a claw, like that, because that's a neurological thing that happens. And this was very attractive. Out of the right side of my mouth, I was drooling. So, yeah, that was me 15 years ago. And it turns out I had lesions in my brain and my immune system was shot. So I had an autoimmune condition that was affecting my central nervous system. And I attended my son's graduation using a cane and wearing a diaper. That was tough. So I worked on getting educated about my body. And actually, that's when I learned about stem cells. And in those days, if you could go to Europe for $10,000 or $15,000 an injection, and our lifestyle was such that, getting a series of shots, I wasn't going to be doing that. So while at this time in my life, I actually just felt a lot of shame. And I was living in hiding a lot from my professional colleagues. I'd get out to teach a class at night at UCLA. I was basically just withdrawn and coping and surviving. And I was also just very apathetic. I wasn't raising my hand to volunteer to do too much. But illness is not an asset to getting hired anywhere. So with these health challenges also came financial challenges. So the second pivotal time in my life, now we didn't know so much back then as we do now about the brain-bowel connection. I just knew that this brain thing was related to the fact that I had had lifelong chronic severe constipation. So it had to be related to getting the waste and the toxins out. And Sheila, I don't know if you know this about me. I actually walked out of a doctor's office in Stanford when I realized they wanted to remove my colon entirely. I just said, thank you for sharing. I'm in the wrong office, and I left.
Yeah, later days.
Exactly. But what did follow, I've had 3 pelvic floor surgeries, but what did follow was a colon resection, and they removed 10 inches of a redundant colon. So at this time, I was still healing. My wonderful husband, Jamie, of 30 years passed from Parkinson's disease. So that ended daily laughter as well as my caregiving duties. And as if that wasn't enough, pivotal moment 3 happened, and I had the beginning of 3 lumpectomies in my right breast. So I just was going through the ringer with so many losses, both physically and emotionally. I mean, the fact that I can sit here and just talk to you about it, to be here now, it's miraculous.
It's pretty amazing, Sandy, because especially because I've heard your story a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
for you to be able to talk so easily with us today?
Well, I do wear my X39 daily. And I think what really explains it all is I have a puppy. I mean, 70 years old with a puppy. So on the one hand, it's kind of like, what are you thinking? But that lets you know that I've got some more mobility. I could always use more speed with a puppy, that's for sure. And so we walk twice a day, no cane, no walking poles, and he greets the neighborhood. So I do that with regularity. And let's just say that's not the only thing with regularity that I do daily. Okay. And sometimes he tugs on me and I don't fall over. You know, I mean, just being able to recover and have your balance. He's 16 and a half pounds now. And I lift him with ease. When I was a gym rat, you know, back in the day, I'm actually lifting higher weights now than I did back then. I did get myself a trainer and he keeps going, what are you doing? Huh? Because I keep exceeding his expectations of what I could do. I was just at the grocery store today, and for years they would sort of see my frailty and they would bag me like very few things in a bag, and because they kind of judge what you can handle. Today they just loaded everything in a double bag and I went, yes, you know, and I carried it out of the store. So it's a different life. And I'm preparing to go to a Showtime reunion, a 40th reunion for those of us that were pioneers in the cable network, to go to New York and to want to see colleagues and to share about the patch, of course, because I love sharing it. So, but in general, I mean, I think the big change is I'm ready to love again, you know?
Wow.
And so I've been helped both emotionally as well as physically. My spirit is lighter. I'm just younger and healthier. And I think my sense of humor is back, you know. And the other day I was singing in the car and I was like, am I getting my voice back? Really? It's just, it's like the hits just keep on coming, you know. I mean, so many people have talked about hair and nails and all that, but it's a wonderful product.
It's more than just hair and nails. And I can see actually that your hair has grown like 5 or 6 inches. You look really great with there. And people are commenting that you look very different than you did. And that is the truth, Sandy.
I will say I've learned so much on these calls. You know, in the early days, we used to sort of try to see the testimonial that would match what our symptoms were. But, you know, the thinking is we all age differently. We all have stem cells. Like my particular story happens to be about brains, bowels, and boobs, right? But whatever your story is, the patches, well, you guys will get to that. It just doesn't matter what your particular symptoms are. I mean, we have so many testimonials of helping people. Thank you for asking me. I appreciate you.